Welcome Libra to your in-depth monthly horoscope for October 2023 for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you some standout details to look out for, but please stay with me. I will explore in much greater depth all the ins and outs, particularly relevant to your sign. Now, Venus, your ruler, has been making its way through the sign of Leo since the 5th of June, and it's going to relocate this week into a more tender and reflective part of your situation, and it is going to meet Saturn almost straight away. So I need to share that with you. But hugely excitingly, Mercury joins with you on the 5th, joining up with the Sun and initially Mars. But Mars is going to be making way on the 12th and rekindling the flame of desire when it comes to your resources, and that's looking very exciting for you later this month. But the standout feature for October for you is the solar eclipse, which occurs on the 14th. Now, this is in your sign. It's going to give you a lot of support and encouragement, a platform to thrive over the next half year, but particularly around what makes you individually exciting, creative, and your personal vitality and also your drive can really be assisted enormously by this. I think Libran people can spend quite a lot of time being concerned with relationships with others. This is encouraging you to invest in what makes you unique. So really exciting to share that with you too. And as I said, there's going to be a collection of energy towards the end of this month, which can see a revival around your resources. Please stay with me for more. I'd just like to share a very exciting opportunity with you. If you order your year 2024 personal horoscope forecast now, based on your personal birth data, I'll prepare for you the rest of year 2023 free of charge. Plus, in my special 30% off package, you can get your character analysis report, your life roadmap. This will give you searing insights into the patterns that have played out in your life so far, but give you a much more intimate understanding of how to make the most of these. Please see beneath this video for more. And finally, if you've yet to watch your year 2024 zodiac forecast, please see the link below where you can do so for free. So Libra, as you make your way into October, so the Sun and Mars are in your sign. So far, so good. But then Mars forges a sparkling alliance with your ruler Venus across the first week. If there is someone you like, take the initiative, Libra. Don't hold back. Don't sit on your hands. It might not go exactly to plan, but you will gain a lot from the experience. And if you don't take charge, you won't get the potential benefits. So, it's all about having the confidence to go for it. So a really lively link between Mars and Venus. Now, Black Moon Lilith has been in your sector of friendship for 9 months. Has there been someone who's really taken your fancy? The last few months may have seen an added amount of interaction around your social world, but not necessarily everything has been perfect. But Lilith is about desires. Is there one person in that group of people or your network that you are really drawn towards? With Lilith going into your 12th house, maybe you're going to want to try to reach out, but in a more discreet way. Now, Mercury moving into your sign on the 5th is terrific because it has been since the end of July in a very psychological area. And it's possible that you have felt quite frustrated and at times maybe even a little vulnerable. And even though the Sun and Mars have been giving you added purpose, conviction and confidence, perhaps there's still been some anxieties that have been swirling around in the background, which have actually been slowing you down and stopping you from really feeling as strong as you would like. So Mercury moving into your sign is definitely a good news story. But also from the 3rd to the 12th, you may find yourself in a little bit of a dust-up with someone. And it may be you're going to show a lot more confidence around a family or emotional matter or something to do with a property affair, where in the past maybe you would have taken the line of least resistance. try to pacify the other person's viewpoint. You're going to be much feistier across those days. Also, Mars is going to be in an opposition with the node. So this is really feeding into the narrative of what the solar eclipse is bringing too, that you need to invest in your identity and be less fearful of how other people view you. So that's another opportunity in terms of the 5th. But on the 9th, as I mentioned, Venus does make her way into the sign of Virgo. Venus is in full here, but it's met by the rather stiff and rather unbending influence of Saturn. Yes, even in the flexible Pisces, because Saturn here is very much about the duty part of your nature. And of course, you've had Neptune emphasizing that since 2012. And then, of course, Saturn since the 7th of March this year. And because Venus is opposite Saturn, there could be a little bit of a potential there for you to feel guilty if you're pushing back on anyone wanting you to do something on their behalf that's not necessarily in your best interests. So there could be some politics that come up around all sorts of relationships around that part of the month, but particularly on the 10th when it's exact. But Pluto on the 11th ends a retrograde which began on the 1st of May. Initially it was in the part of your situation to do with expressing your talents, your joys, your creativity and enjoying life pleasures, Aquarius, but then on the 11th of June it rewound back into that 4th house, which has really been such a tough area for a lot of Libran folks, ascendant, sun, moon, since 2008. And that clash with Mars is going to be interesting. Maybe you're going to say something that you could have said a very, very long time ago. But also be aware that Mars square Pluto can see someone trying to bully us. And I'm not saying you're going to bully anyone, but certainly you need to be aware that it's not just what we give out, astrology, it's what we can receive. And you may encounter someone who has a might is right attitude, and it might be something to do with a property matter. So for example, if you're talking to a contractor, they may say it's going to happen this way and no other way, and they may need to be reminded that you're the person, you're the client. So there could be some politics that you won't enjoy, but you may have to stand up your position. But on the 12th, Mars moves back into his home sign of Scorpio. And obviously Mars rules the sign of Aries as well, very impetuous, very action-orientated, risk-taking. Mars in Scorpio is much more to do with desires, and for you it's the 2nd house. That's money, but it's also sensual pleasures, anything to do with calorific goodies. And it's a rare Libran that doesn't have a sweet tooth or an appreciation of life's fineries. So just be aware that in the following over 6-week period, you could find yourself really wanting to enjoy those more earthy parts of life to a greater degree. But also Mars moving into this area can give you the desire to improve your financial lot, and I do think that's going to be a big part of the second half of this month. But it's going to be sparked by your dynamism as an individual, which is really going to be leveraged by the solar eclipse of the 14th, which really can help you not just over the next 6 months. It's going to be challenged by a lunar eclipse in your sign on the 28th of March, which will help you to see how far you've come in terms of living out your true potential. But then you have another solar eclipse in your sign on the 4th of October 2024. So you've got loads to go for over the next year and a half, but you have to seize the moment. And because it's clashing with Uranus in the quincunx, balancing what you want as an individual with where you're most invested could mean that you have to free yourself from something that's controlling of you. But that control could be something that you're imposing on yourself. It could be a psychological control, which is the 8th house. So maybe you need to free yourself from some kind of possessiveness that stops you from manifesting your individuality. But it could be in a relationship. You know, are you in a relationship where you're being far too much of a people pleaser, but actually all of the time accumulating more and more frustration, bits and pieces, and you're not actualizing what you really want? Sometimes in life we just can't sit on the fence. So this next year and a half for you is really crucial in your entire life story to really go for it and be very single-minded in your approach. You're going to be challenged from the 19th to the 21st because Mercury goes square Pluto, or maybe again this is another opportunity for you to tell it as it is. You know, Mercury in a square with Pluto can see people take trenchant views and be very unbending. Yours is a cardinal sign, Pluto, Mercury, and Pluto in Capricorn, cardinal sign. So there could be some kind of tussle. Again, it may be about a property matter or a family or emotional strand. Just be aware on the 20th, within this square with Pluto, there is that cazimi. The cazimi gives you the opportunity to burn brightly with your individual ideas. If people have a Mercury cazimi in their natal horoscope, they're usually geniuses. They have an extraordinary ability to convey knowledge or download information very nimbly, often work brilliantly with technology, or some kind of role where you need to see the big picture but react to it very quickly, which is what Mercury can be about. So another opportunity, but also another challenge. But then on the 22nd, Mercury switches into Scorpio. And again, just like Mars, it's encouraging you to really start to reap the benefits for all the hard work that you've invested over a very long period of time. They're joined by the Sun on the 23rd, but again, the Sun goes square with Pluto. This Pluto theme, I'm sorry if it sounded like a broken record, it's still threaded through this month's affairs. When it moves next January the 21st into Aquarius, it will do so the same day as the Sun. Also, Venus and Mars are going to be moving into your 5th house, not too distant after that in February. So you're going to have an opportunity to really shift the prism hugely early next year. But for now, there's still a transitional phase where you're still being encouraged to work on your inner self so you feel stronger about your vulnerabilities, asserting your emotional needs, not spending so much time being conscious about what other people are making of you or thinking about you, and it's living in your own power. But then the Sun moves into house 2 for you, the sign of Scorpio, very passionate, very much about change, but also about desire. If you're wanting a better material outcome in your situation, this is the opportunity. Also, Mercury is going to be going conjunct with Mars. That's exact on the 29th. This could make you very feisty about conveying your point of view on a situation, but it also can amp up your sense of self-worth. Also, with Mercury and Mars in an opposition to Jupiter, the planet of growth, there's a growing sense of self-confidence about how you're approaching things, whether it is around the business, whether it is around your personal finances. There's definitely a sense of huge momentum building up. Yes, you could find with the lunar eclipse, the last in a series between the signs of Taurus and Scorpio, this one's in Taurus, in the 8th house of your situation, that some kind of revelation around an insurance situation, a pension, perhaps a legacy, a property matter. There may be something that does come into the open in the following 6 months, and it may be difficult to toggle where you're really all in, where you're very devoted, particularly if it's in a romantic sense, and what you need to achieve as an individual. So that's how these 2 eclipses are pairing up together. But wow, there is such a lot of passion towards the end of this month. If you really want to bring greater intimacy into your world, let's put it bluntly, more sexual activity, there's a lot of desirous energies at the end of this month that can compel you to reach out and find connections to others. If you're in a relationship that at times has its moments, but is pretty solid. Spending the time cultivating and creating the environment so you can share some very special and intimate moments with one another. The proverbial date nights, parking the kids, taking time out from work, going away for a weekend, just changing all your routines to do things in a bit of a different way. And even if there isn't anybody in your life, what you can do is really manifest on the back of this particular lunar eclipse the desire that you would like to bring into your world, because there's every chance with you taking a firmer grip on your life direction with this eclipse series in your sign, that from now right through to the start of the spring of year 2025, huge opportunities for you, Libra. This is massive stuff, but you can't have it both ways. You can't be a people pleaser and please yourself to your full potential. So it's about finding that midpoint of get and give, but being in your power most of all, and then drawing to you someone who respects the authority that you're speaking with and wants to find ways to collaborate and cooperate, but it's very receptive to one another, so you both get your needs met. If you're in a situation where you're giving more than you're getting, that's what this month is giving you the opportunity to finally overcome. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Libra. Please check out your year 2024 deep dive astrology and horoscope Libra video by checking the link beneath this one. But for now, stay safe. All the best. Please like, comment, share or subscribe.